Hello guys, this is a tutorial on how to throw portals like in the portal series made in Unity 3D. Okay, right here I have some sort of test chamber set up already and a first person character controller, but I cannot yet throw portals. Okay, what do we need? We will need a portal. We will make it out of a sphere. We're going to make it a bit higher, like 3 meters, a bit wider, 1.5, and a bit thinner, 0.1. And also we're going to replace that sphere collider with a simple box collider. So whenever we step into that box collider, we're going to get teleported to the other portal. Also we want to make that a trigger, because we don't really want to collide, but we want to like step into that. We don't want to, yeah, okay. Next, I'm going to rename that right portal. I'm going to duplicate it and name the other one left portal. We're just going to have that 2 portals in our scene right away. I know we could instantiate it from script, but as we know, we will always have at maximum 2 portals. That should do fine. Okay, let's move these out of the way for now and make the first person controller actually throw these portals onto a wall. How do we do that? We add a script, name it throw portal or something, and open that up for editing. Okay, that's an old one. First we want to determine left and mouse click from the player, so we just check for input, mouse button, get mouse button down, and 0 is the left click, and we will duplicate that and have 1 for the right click of the mouse. So just to test that out, that it works, we can do debug.log, left click, and use the same one down here and say right click. Just test that out, if that works, so we know we can get our input. On the bottom of the screen you can see it, left click, right click. Or if I open up my console, you can also see that this is logged to the console right now. So we can recognize input, that's good. Basically we will want to have some function throw portal, and that will take in the game object to know which portal it's throwing, and according to left click or right click we're going to throw portal, and of course we need to pass an object that should be thrown. So on throw portal with a left click we should throw a left portal, and here we should throw a right portal. So this is giving us red errors. Of course we haven't set up these variables yet, but that's fairly simple. I'm just going to go up here, public game object left portal, and public game object right portal. So these now appear in my script, and I can drag the portals I just created before onto the slots. So now I have access to them in the script, and I actually also connected my input, left click, right click, to throw the portal. So we're in throw portal. We get the game object portal, so we know which one it's going to be we're throwing. We can do that for both right there, save some code. We want to throw the portal from the middle of our screen. We're going to make some sort of aim later as well, and we want to throw it onto the wall or the floor, whatever the middle of the screen is hitting. So to do that in Unity, the easiest way is to do a raycast. So a raycast in Unity is basically some sort of laser that you shoot out into a direction, in our case from the middle of the screen, and we're going to see where it hits, and wherever it hits we want to move our portal there so it appears that we can step through it, and according whether we get the left portal or the right portal here, it's going to move the correct portal to the position that our raycast hit. So I said we want to do that from the middle of our screen, so let's determine the middle of our screen first. we're going to say x equals screen.width half, so we get the middle, so that would be x width, and if we divide it by 2 we get that point right here, somewhere here in this line, and we're going to determine the same way y, which would be screen.height divided by 2. So we have the x and y coordinates now, that would be right in the middle of the screen. Furthermore, we're going to need array. We're going to call that array, and we're going to use a function called screen point array, and it needs position. So what we put in there is a vector 3, and we're just going to feed our x and y. Z doesn't really matter, so we can omit it. So that's going to enable us to shoot the array, and that right here is screen point array, nice function, so we can just use our screen and see where the screen position would hit if it went to that direction that we set up later. So to remember what we hit and actually be able to instantiate the portal there, or move the portal there, we can create a variable raycast hit. And now we just basically look for the raycast. So to do the raycast, we go physics.raycast. Now it wants the ray that we set up before, and also we want to use that hit variable, raycast hit, that we set up before to store where it hit. So if we do it like this, it really just shoots out from the middle of the screen, because we set that as our screen point array, and it's going to look where it hits, and we're going to have that hit in that if statement right there. So what we want to do now is to move the portal to that position. So we will want to do like portal.transform.position equals hit.point. That's like an attribute of that hit, and that's basically the vector 3 of the position where we hit. So let's try that out, see what it looks like. So I do that. Okay, missing, there's no camera attached, the first person controller game object. Okay, that's unexpected, but it's probably true. So the problem is that's my screen flow. The problem is that the camera component is a child object of the first person controller, and I try to directly access the component. So there's several ways we can fix that. Yeah, I'm just going to set up a game object main camera and look for that in the start function. So to do that, I use game object find with tag, and I'm going to look for the main camera. The reason I can do that is because the main camera actually has the main camera tag, and when using game object.find with tag, we're going to look for that tag. It's going to give out the object. What I could have done as well would be public game object main camera and drag my camera to the script if it would appear. What did I do wrong? Hello? Yeah, that is. So I could drag and drop it onto there. But I just felt like showing you another way of doing it, so we don't really need the public access modifier. We can just use game object find with tag main camera. So now we have it there, and I'm going to replace that main camera dot. Now, as we have the game object only, we need to get component camera, and now we should be able to use that screen point array and actually call it from the right object and the right component. Okay, so as I said before, let's try that out and see what it looks like. So, great. Here it works quite good. I can shoot my portal. I can actually shoot my other portal. But on that wall, you see that it's not rotated quite right. Here it works well as well, but look on the floor, it like sticks there and it doesn't rotate properly. So, and also, of course, we can't step through it right now, but that's an issue we're going to deal with later. Right now, we would like to fix that rotation problem. Okay, let's see how we're going to approach that. So, in that if, we already set the position, which was great, but we will also like adjust portal transformed or rotation. So how are we going to do that? We will need to determine the rotation of the point of the object of the point that we hit. And there's actually quite a smart way to do that, to determine the rotation of the object. So I'm just going to store that here, temp rotation, or hit object rotation. Give that a good name. Okay, and you know, an object, the face that we're hitting has got a normal, and we're going to access that normal to determine the direction of that face and actually turn our portal in the same way. Just look how that works. We're going to make use of the look rotation and just say our hit point, and we're going to go hit.normal, and we're going to get that normal of the face that we hit. And by using look rotation, we can like look at that rotation and store it in our quaternion, and now we can set the rotation of the portal to that rotation we just got. So I can use portal transform rotation equals hit object rotation, and by doing that, that should fix our problem, I guess. Yep, looks great. Also, if we put it before, that's like step one. Later, I'm going to be able to go up there. Okay, so we can throw portals, they appear on the walls correctly. That's nice. So let's deal with actually going through the portal. Alright, I'm going to choose both of my portals and add a script and call it something like step through portal to make the player teleport to the other portal, basically. So to know which one the other portal is, I'm going to create a public GameObject other portal, and yeah. So if I'm the right portal, oops, what did I do? If I am the right portal, the other portal is going to be the left portal. If I'm the left portal, the other portal is going to be the right portal. So I can like teleport the player to the other portal, whichever it's going to be. I just set up a variable for that and connect it appropriately, accordingly in my inspector. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to determine the collision with the player. And before we already turn this portal collider into a trigger, so we're going to use the function void on trigger enter to determine whether something entered my trigger. And of course we're going to have collider other, and we're going to check if that was a player. And if that's the case, we want to teleport him to the other portal. So we go other.transform.position equals other portal.transform.position. To be honest, that should be a teleport, provided we assign the player tag to the first person controller, which I apparently already did. Now I expect myself to be able to step through portals. Let's see. Okay, this didn't work. Let's find out why it didn't work. So I'm assuming that I'm not colliding at all, so it's a debug.log. Something hit the portal, just to find out that that collider works with my first-person controller. So no, right now I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's not large enough. You know, maybe it's too small, so the capsule doesn't really collide with that. Let's try size that one. Let's try doing it like this. Yeah, that kind of worked. You see, I stepped through the portal. The problem is I got teleported right away, and so I get teleported back, and then I'm in the collider again, and I get teleported back. So yeah, how do we solve that? The way I did it in my demo that I set up the other day was just to add something onto the position in the direction of the other portal. So I'm going to go other portal dot transform dot forward times 1 or whatever, and if that's enough to be outside of the collider, we shouldn't yeah, so that worked great. Okay, maybe it wasn't enough, but we can also always make the collider a bit smaller again. Before it was actually too small to work, and now I made it bigger, and maybe it's like a bit too big. So let's try this size, and then +1 should be fine, good enough. Okay. Yeah, so that worked great. I can go through portals, and I can actually, like, if I manage to aim it without an aim, actually, go up there and be happy to be on the platform. And I'm actually up here. So the portal system kind of works. Okay, that's good. Way to continue. Yeah, okay. As you've seen in the demo, maybe, you could actually see through the other portal, and that's kind of important to me because that was like the effect from the real portal series. Right now, we're just with that ugly grey portal you can't see through. So to do that, you actually need Unity Pro version. So if you have the trial still, it works as well. Because we're going to use a render material, render texture, and connect cameras to the portals, of course, and then use these cameras as texture for the other portal. So to these portals, left portal camera and right portal camera, and I'm going to add that to the left portal, to the right portal, and actually zero both of them out, so they are sitting in the portal. And as they're child objects, they will pick up the rotation from the portal, and they actually see out of the portal. They see what the portal would see, so we can use that as a texture to map on the other portal. Okay, I made this render texture. I'm going to call this left portal texture. I can't duplicate that. Let's just create another one, and right portal texture. So what I want to do with both of these, I want to like set that on maximum to have it nice and sharp. And to my cameras, I'm gonna assign the target texture. So the left portal camera should see the right portal texture, and my right portal camera should see the left portal texture. I'm gonna have to be careful to not mix left and right up in this anymore. Okay, what's next? Yeah, we need materials. Create material, that is left material, just gonna name that real quick, and create material, right material. And that's materials we're actually gonna assign to the portal. And now we just need to assign the right portal texture onto that right material, and on the left material we assign the left portal texture. And you see it already kind of picked up what the camera sees. And now we need to assign these materials to portals, so left material on left portal and right material on right portal. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Ah, there we go. So here I can see what the other portal sees. So it's kind of left-right. Let's try to move towards that. And in this one, it also kind of works. It looks a bit off. Maybe the camera position is not adjusted appropriately. Yeah, let's figure that out. What happened there? It's okay, apparently. Alright, let me figure out what the problem is. Be right back. Okay, here's what I'm going to try to do to fix the issue. I somehow did something different with my left portal. I don't know what exactly, but I just deleted it, and I'm just going to take you through it. I duplicate my right portal and call one of it left portal, and also rename the left portal child, left portal camera actually, and I'm gonna assign the right portal texture as target texture, and I'm gonna like redo these missing left portal, right portal, and I think that should do it. I hope. Okay, I just noticed another issue. I forgot to swap the material. Before it was right portal, right material, left portal, also right material, so I had like the same camera on both. Just fix that by updating the material, and now it should be fine. I also changed the material type to self-illuminating diffuse to make it nice and bright and not too dark in our scene. So now this really works. We can see ourselves there, and yeah, so if I put it up there, oops, we can like see what's going on down here, and really different portals, and I can also go up there and be on top. Okay, and I can also do what I find is really cool, infinity loops. Yeah, like up there. I can see myself 100 times. It's really funny. Okay, you might just have seen it. Another issue that we have, we can like stack portals on top of each other, and then have it like stand around in our scene and not be on the wall. That's because the raycast hits the portal and then calculates the position on top of the collider that was there before. So to fix that is really simple. We just change the layer of the both of the portals to ignore raycast, and now the raycast is supposed to go through the portals and always hit the ball behind. So we can't really get that mistake anymore. Alright, and I think this concludes our tutorial on how to do portals in Unity3D. I hope you liked it. Subscribe if you want more. See you next time. Bye.